Welcome to Classic Game Room. This is the review of Star Wars Episode 3, The Wrath of Khan. The Search for Spock. Or is it the one with whales? And lightsabers. That was a good one. Why, hello. If you've been watching Classic Game Room for a while, you probably think I have a seething hatred of all things relating to the Star Wars prequels, and that's not entirely true. I like the music a great deal. And, yeah, that might be about it, because really they're just terrible movies.
Don't worry, Master. I'm not worried.
I'm an original trilogy snob, that's just the way I am, and I don't really care for the plots, and the acting is terrible, and they look like bad video games. Not that I have an opinion. Anyway, when you strip away all of the cinematic incompetence, what you're left with is a video game, and this is it. Episode 3 on the Xbox, which is actually pretty good. And I'm so completely surprised by this fact. I'm flummoxed. I've been flummoxed, people. I figured the first thing I would do is figure out which button combination makes Anakin impale himself on his lightsaber, but actually I played through the whole game and think it's better than the movie.
Watch those electrostats.
Because even though you play through the entire plot of Episode 3 and it's enhanced with clips from the film, there's not that many of them. In many cases, the fake performances in the video game are better.
I sense Syndraulic. I'll deal with him. You stay and protect the beacon. Guard it with your lives.
Oh, love it. Anyway, Episode 3 feels like a rough draft of The Force Unleashed. Which is to say, it's a good button-mashing fun time. You play as Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi and run around and just fight things with lightsabers and use the Force. It's pretty good. Really, I wasn't expecting it. Flummoxed. I'm flummoxed. Episode 3, the game, has a nice pacing to it, and while you don't have camera control with the second analog stick like you do in The Force Unleashed, the developers do a nice job of giving you lots of different camera perspectives, and there's numerous environments to fight through as well, which was one of my biggest complaints with The Force Unleashed 2. I actually prefer the Episode 3 game over that.
This is your last stand, General.
It's longer, there's a greater diversity of enemies, and you're not instantly all-powerful either. While you do level up Anakin and Obi-Wan, you'll encounter numerous baddies that put up a fight.
The Chancellor was right. You are a traitor.
Well, let's see what you've got.
The ultimate Jedi action experience, so says the packaging, allows you to battle through many of the scenes in the movie, like this one of the worst scenes in film history.
What have I done?
Where Anakin just decides to be a bad guy all of a sudden. It's just terrible. But there's also locations inspired by the film, which include levels like this one that are usually pretty fun. Predictable, but this is way better than I would expect for a generic movie-based game. They're usually better when they focus on one thing, like Episode 1 Pod Racer, which was all about pod racing. It made sense. So really, major credit is due for the developers that actually capture what was good about Episode 3. It did have a lot of action and lightsaber battles, as well as the music and Star Wars sound effects, and R2-D2 and 3PO are always legit. So a big Classic Game Room thank you, and may the Force be with you, to Paul from Whittier, California, for sending this to the show. It's a lot better than I expected it to be, and while it's not the best Star Wars game or one of those premier series like Rogue Squadron or Battlefront, it's a good random Star Wars game that you can find affordably for your Xbox or PlayStation 2. The lightsaber combat is a lot of fun. You can force electrocute people and things, and it looks good on the Xbox as well, and plays on the Xbox 360, which is how I'm recording it here. It also has an excellent audio mix and surround sound. Not a bad game for a couple bucks. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Thanks again to Paul. This is the episode 3 video game you're looking for.
There is no motion.
You're a disgrace to the Order. Nice try. This will be a day long remembered.